Welcome to G-Man Gaming and Reviews. In this guide we'll show you how to make caps fast in Fallout 4 with tips, tricks and methods you can use to boost your income throughout the game. Let's dive in. One of the easiest ways to make caps in Fallout 4 is by selling your loot. As you explore the wasteland, you'll come across all sorts of weapons, armor and miscellaneous items. Instead of carrying everything back to Sanctuary, you should take time to sell your unwanted goods to vendors. Now, where should you sell all this loot? Here are some great vendor locations you'll encounter early in Fallout 4. We have the Drumlin Diner. Now, depending upon how you resolve the crisis at the Drumlin Diner, you may only have one vendor to sell to there. There's normally two vendors. There's a vendor called Wolfgang who sells chems, and then there's another vendor whose name escapes me who sells more general items. The other vendors that you'll encounter early on are Diamond City Market, and then you also have Good Neighbor, and then you also have Bunker Hill. So these are really good places of where you will find vendors early on in order to be able to sell your goods. Next up, let's talk about bartering. There is a perk in the charisma tree at level 1 called Caps Collector that you should probably take early on if you're going to be selling things to vendors, which you probably will be, because it basically increases your buying and selling prices at vendors. Obviously, having a high rank in charisma anyway is useful, so you can get local leader so that you can build settlements at level 14. But the advantage of the Caps Collector perk is you only need to have one level of Caps Collector. You only have one charisma in order to get it. So even if you don't want to sink your points down the charisma tree, it is useful to get at least one charisma so that you can get more caps. Another good one is Fortune Finder at Luck 1. That can be also very useful for finding more caps to sell things. So another great method to make caps fast is by crafting and selling high value items. So you can craft things like chems, weapon mods. So for instance, when it comes to like crafting chems, you can just come here to your chem station and you can manufacture jet. Jet is very inexpensive weight wise and can be easily mass produced with fertilizer. And fertilizer you can get by having cows appear at your settlements. So in order to have cows appearing at your settlements, you'll need to use one of these cages, a Brahmin cage, which you can find in the large cages section. You just power it, and then what you do is when you go away, eventually you'll come back and the thing will be closed, and then you just open it up and you've got a good old Brahmin in there. Another thing that you can do is you can craft mods for weapons and then sell those mods. You can do this, but what I would probably recommend that you do is rather than do crafting weapons for mods, because early on you're going to need all the adhesive that you can get. What you're better off doing is when you upgrade a weapon, sell the older mod that you're not using to vendors. Next, we're going to talk about farming in settlements. Farming in settlements can be a great way to make caps, as you can build up your settlements. You can grow crops like nut fruit, potato, and corn. The reason that you want to grow these crops of nut fruit, potato, and corn is because these three crops can be used for making adhesive, which is very useful early on when you're going to be using a lot of weapon mods. So if you go into your cooking station and you go to utility, you'll see here that with corn, nut fruit, potato, and water, you can create a vegetable starch. You can sell this adhesive if you want, but I would probably keep it for mods because you're going to be modding like crazy early on. The other advantage of nut fruit is with Nuka-Cola, it can be used to craft dirty wastelanders, which gives you strength +3, which is actually really useful. Especially if you combine it with Party Boy, which if you're going down the charisma perk to get the charisma tree to get local leader, Party Boy is just charisma 7, and at level 3, at level 2, it will double the effects of alcohol. So effectively, it'll give you strength 6 +6, which is insane. And alcohol is relatively cheap in comparison to buying chems, so something to keep in mind. So let's take this one step further by setting up passive income sources for your settlement. So here's how you do it. So the first thing that you do is, especially with Sanctuary and other places like the castle, which is all the way down here on the map, which you will be given the quest to get the castle later on, is that if you've got a lot of water, you can set up water purifiers. So the big water purifiers, which is probably the ones that you should try to do, give you 40 water. So you can see here that I have a settlement of producing 320 water. Now you might say, what is the point in having more water than you actually need? Now, there are some good benefits to having more water. First off, if you connect your settlements via supply lines, any water that's not being used in Sanctuary will be used in the other settlements. So what this actually means is that you can use all the water here to supply the other settlements with water, right? The other big advantage of having crap loads of water purifiers is they will actually create purified water in your inventory, right? So I literally had 200 water in here before, and I sold them for 2,000-3,000 caps. So it's a great way of basically generating passive income. It generates water for you, then you sell the water. Another thing that's useful is Brahmin, like I said before, because they create fertilizer, and fertilizer is used to create jet. The other thing that you can do is you can set up stores. Now, in order to set up stores, you will need to have at least a rank rank 2 in local leader, which you get at level 4, which you can get at level 14. And to get the bigger stores, you'll need rank 2 in cap collector. So what you do is you place a store down. You place a store down like anything, and then you just assign someone to it. One other useful thing for checking on your settlers is having a Vault-Tec population management system terminal. So you can actually find this in power under miscellaneous. So you can find it under terminal. No, it's this one, yeah. Sorry, Vault-Tec population management system, right? So the good thing about this one is once you've placed your store down, you can actually go in here and check to see how many of your people are unemployed and not doing anything. Because having unemployed settlers actually drives down. So you can see I've got 4 unemployed people, so I should probably make some more stuff. Should probably give them some jobs. But yes, so that's the thing. The good thing about stores is that what will happen is when you have stores, I've already taken it, but if you go into your workshop and you look under miscellaneous, you'll have your caps in there. So not only do stores give you a place to sell your loot, they also generate passive income. So in conclusion, with these strategies, you'll be making caps fast in Fallout 4 in no time. Whether you're selling loot to vendors, crafting valuable items, or setting up passive income sources in your settlements, there are plenty of ways to boost your profits. Start using these tips today, and you'll have all the caps you need to survive and thrive in the wasteland. This was G-Man Gaming and Reviews. I'd love to hear your comments on this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Trying to get to 500 subscribers so I can get partially monetized. I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the people who have been subscribing to me so far. I really appreciate it. I also appreciate your comments. Thanks to everyone who watched this video and subscribed, and I'll see you on the next one.